This Tuesday marks World Climate Day, falling just shy of the 5-year anniversary of the Paris Agreement this weekend. Well, it comes as the French president, Emmanuel Macron, is facing increasing pressure for failing to live up to his promises on the environment, particularly in relation to the Independent Citizen Climate Council that was set up a year ago. Well, to talk a bit more about this with me now, I'm joined on the set by our Environment Editor, Mairead Dundas. Mairead, tell us a bit more about this climate bill and how relations have soured between the president and the citizens.
Yeah, well, in June, I was in front of the Elysee just saying how warmly the Citizens' Council had welcomed the pledges from the president. He was saying that the measures were going to go unfiltered, that he had a moral contract to do so. 6 months later, it's a decidedly different atmosphere. Firstly, the Ecological Transition Minister, Barbara Pompili, has said that of the 40% of the measures put forward would go through to the climate bill. Just keep in mind, back in June, the president had said that 146 of the 149 would go through. So obviously this is not at all what was promised. I've been speaking to a raft of convention or climate council members today, and they are really disappointed. They worked hard for 9 months to put together these measures. They feel that the government's either undoing or weakening the measures that they worked on. In some cases, the proposal's been put on hold. They're being told in others they're keeping the framework, but they're taking away all the might. I just wanted to give you an example. They put forward a measure to put a financial levy on vehicles over 1,400 kilograms. That's from the council. The government says, great, we love it. We're just going to raise that weight limit to 1,800 kilograms. In doing so, it now affects 2% of the market as opposed to 25%. So you get the idea. There's a whole raft of examples like that. Now, some of the Climate Council members are waiting till they've got all the information on the table. They are continuing to meet with ministers later today and this week. But for the moment, it's definitely not going in the right direction.
How's the government reacting to all of this criticism?
Well, the president seems to be digging in his heels. In fact, in the face of the criticism, he said that he doesn't need to be lectured on the climate. And he said just because these citizens wrote a thing doesn't make it the Bible or the Quran. So you can imagine that hasn't gone down so well. He also said that no one has done as much as this government in the last 3 years. Well, to be fair, Jeannie, that's a questionable statement. You know, there's a lot of happening on the international scale. I'm not sure France is the leader in there. On the other hand, you've got the Ecological Transition Minister who seems to be fighting a different battle inside. The Climate Council members said that they felt that they were being heard, but that her hands were tied. Sounds somewhat resembling a former Environment Minister, Nicola Hulot, who famously quit because he believed that the government wasn't acting quick enough. What's sure, though, is that the government will need to adopt most or all of these measures if it has any chance of meeting its 2050 carbon neutrality goal. There's also loads of pressure coming up. That Paris anniversary, 5 years on Saturday, US back on board. Climate talks full speed 2021. So the government will be facing pressure, not just from in France, but from global community.
Mairead, thanks so much for that. Mairead Dundas there, our Environment Editor on France 24.